Reynard Hardware Store. It's a locally owned store which offers tools, supplies, and painting supplies. The business is located on the main street of the city. The store competes against medium and large franchises within 25 minutes of them. They've been in business for over 50 years. Still remains owned by the founder's family and retains loyal customer base. The grandson of the founders operates business now. While he appreciates his loyalty, they are not attracting younger families that live in the area or recently relocated in the area. The owner also wants to offer handy services for busy families and his loyal customers who are getting older and need trustworthy, reliable handy services. They would like to change their business name to Reynard Hardware and Services. The online presence would help Reynard Hardware and Services to increase its customer base, and also this would help the business to increase revenue and be able to compete with the larger and the medium-sized franchises in the area. In order to best serve Reynard Hardware, we brought together a team of highly qualified and motivated consultants to take their business to the next level. This team consists of 4 experienced information systems professionals, each whom will be fully committed to the successful implementation of the project within the scope. As consultants, we understand the importance of identifying our stakeholders. These stakeholders may be directly or indirectly affected by the project. Getting our stakeholders involved in a project will be very critical to the success of the project. In this case, our project stakeholders are the business owner, suppliers, financial institutions like PayPal, bank, and merchant services to be able to receive credit card transactions for payment.
An effective risk management requires continuous processes that enables the team to evaluate, analyze, and mitigate risks that can have negative impact on the project's success. The following slide includes our risk register.
On this next slide, you will see the risk register. The entire project team, including the project sponsors and other key stakeholders, prepared for the Reynard's Hardware and Service online store project. The risk register includes a reference ID to uniquely identify each risk, a description of the risk, the category of each risk, the probability of the risk occurring, and the impact the risk has on the project as assessed by the project team, the risk response strategies identified by the project team, the owner of each risk, the current status of each risk, and any additional comments. You will notice that the risks are prioritized based on the probability and impact so that the team can be focused on the most critical risks impacting the project.
The risk register provides our team with a plethora of important information that can help us make decisions. It also provides many important benefits, including giving us the ability to understand the nature of the risk the project faces, our ability as a team to mitigate that risk, the ability to prioritize the risk based on the effect of the project, to provide awareness based on the extent of all of the risks, an option to report risks at any time, to serve as the key repository for all of our risk information, and, most importantly, to provide a clear status update of each risk at any time.
A project status update provides a short and concise, sometimes graphical representation of where the project is today, including any successes, roadblocks, and projections of where it will be. That project status update brings in elements from the communication plan and the approved project plan for the project.
The communication plan for the Reynard's hardware and service project consists of two key sections. The first section, shown here on slide 5, lists the 3 types of communications: meetings, reporting, and communication artifacts. The meetings include the project kickoff, daily stand-up, backlog refinement, sprint planning, sprint review, and sprint retrospectives. Reporting on budget, project milestones, and sprint burndown will be given throughout the project. The communication artifacts will include the product roadmap, product backlog, release plan, sprint retrospective outcome, and sprint burndown chart. For each type of communication, the audience, the method of communication, frequency of communication, duration, and person responsible is given. Approvers, where necessary, are also listed in the communication plan.
Our first phase of our project schedule is planning. Here we'll identify the scope through a statement of work and a program plan and achieving sign-off from our sponsor. Then we'll move to planning, where there is a more detailed project plan based off of the program plan, and it'll also acquire approval or sign-off. Once we have the statement of work and an understanding of the scope and the time frame in which we need to deliver our product in, here we can begin looking at the business rules and themes and epic breakdowns for our upcoming sprints. Next, we'll head into the phase for design, where we'll start sketching out wireframes for our customer, putting in infrastructure configuration, and creating a database to support our design. The next portion of the project plan is the sprints themselves to develop the online presence. We will deliver through 3 releases. The first 2 releases will be a series of 3 sprints. Each sprint will have selected user stories, development of those user stories, internal testing, user acceptance testing by our customer to get initial feedback, and then eventual deployment of that work. When we come to our first release, that product will be live for our customer to get their customers online shopping. The next release for scheduling a handyman will be very similar and going through 3 sprints to eventually deploy in a release the ability for subcontractors to create an online profile and for Reynard's customers to schedule a handyman for various services. The third release will be any remaining stories and fixes that we weren't able to get to in the first 2 releases. The idea is that we continue build value for our customers while delivering a minimal viable product so that they can start bringing their product in a whole new way to their customers. Each week, we provide Reynard hardware and service a project status update. This status table outlines each milestone and delivery date from the approved project plan. What we're looking at shows the initial planning milestones and each release as outlined on the project plan. Also included is a visual of the status of the milestone and a status comment or context to go with it. A black triangle represents work that's been completed and delivered on time. Green shows that the milestone is on track. Yellow alerts the project sponsor that the delivery date is at risk, and red marks any delivery dates that have been missed. And looking at our status table, we were to deliver infrastructure configuration by Saturday, March 1st. When reading the status comment, we provide the comment that it was delivered 3 days late due to an unexpected absence. Again, the delivery date was missed, and we provided context to our sponsor as to why it was. You may notice in April, we have triangles with no color. Those are simply identifying that the part of the release has not been started and that there are no identified risks at this time.
This next slide shows the burn-up chart for the Reynard's Hardware and Service online store project. The total project points are 183 workdays, as shown by the blue line at the top of the chart. The project planned workdays by sprint is indicated by the gray dotted line. The actual cumulative points completed is indicated by the green line. The project team is currently in Sprint 1.2, and as you can see by the burn-up chart, the team is tracking to plan.
The project status update gives our project team the ideal opportunity to notify and present to Reynard Hardware and its stakeholders a glimpse of our progress and our successes. We have worked diligently to meet every requirement, and through this update we can receive feedback as to what needs improvement and what we as a team could do better. Included in this project status update is all the work we have completed thus far, as well as a roadmap for where we will go. Ultimately, we are here to provide Reynard Hardware the ideal package to set the company up for continued success.